Now, this is gonna sound weird. Uh, Being that I'm a socialist and all this stuff. I go on survivalist boards, I go on InfoWars, I go on quite a few websites that you probably would consider to be white supremacist websites. Or being that way. Because I want to know what my enemy thinks. They're talking about this Wuhan coronavirus stuff. You know what it is? There aren't a lot of liberals that concern themselves with survivalism. There just isn't. There aren't a lot of blacks in an organized manner that are thinking about survivalism. I don't have no year's worth of food in here. You know, I mean, I've got this, and I've got other mechanisms of protection here. I've got masks. I can show you that. I've got other stuff here. But a lot of black folks are not thinking about these things. And so it's just like me talking to you about me taking extracts and using the blender. There aren't a lot of black people doing that. I didn't grow up seeing that. That's something that in the last 5-10 years I've met people that are, I'm doing vegetarianism. That wasn't big before I was around. So they're talking about this pandemic. A lot of these guys, it's like they want it to be depopulation. They want the Asians to die off. Kind of, that's what it sounds like to me. And I was reading something on there talking about gun confiscation. And would the soldiers follow them? First of all, guys, if we ever came to a situation in this country where that was a reality, it's going to lead up to that. You're not just going to have, hey, are you going to take guns from American people? See, that's really a miss. Now, even when they had that, even when I was going on Hurricane Katrina, the local gun confiscation, that was because of a state of emergency had occurred. Now, I understand one thing about white people I've learned, one thing about crackers I had to learn is that they really don't care about that. They don't. White people, white men just think it's their society. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever evolves. They are inflexible in mind. And so any kind of a closure or restraining them of anything, they go crazy. That's how the Caucasian man thinks. They over anything, over things that we deal with on a regular basis, they go crazy. You're not taking up arms against the U.S. government. It's becoming mechanized. The drones and stuff like that. You don't need a lot of people to support you to do damage at the U.S. government. That's the one thing I will say about this empire we live in is that you're not going to rile up against it. You're not. I don't care if you're a SEAL. I don't care if you're Delta. I don't care how many pounds you can bench press. I don't care how fast you can run a mile. I don't care. I really don't care about any of that. Because it's becoming too sophisticated now. One thing I find interesting on these forums is that when they talk about that insurrection, they talk about COINTELPRO. And it's funny to me that a Caucasian is openly talking about COINTELPRO and is talking about programs that were once used by their ancestors to take out my ancestors, my leaders, not too long ago. And that they're looking at it like, we can't do this because of that. You know, like lessons learned. That is so amazing. What I realize is this white man's losing control of his country. He is, whether he wants to admit it or not. He is. And he knows it. And so I think that white people are or will have to learn the lesson that our ancestors learned a long time ago, which is that you're not gonna stop this train. And if you think you will, or you think it's gonna happen, you have a lot to learn. See, My response to that, talking about the SEALs, the military, or the grunts be on our side, it's just like when I hear truckers talk about a trucker strike is coming. Yeah, you have some that'll do that, but a lot of guys aren't. You know why? Because a lot of guys need their jobs. A lot of folks live in their trucks. You do that because you're going to be fired. Like, a lot of guys are just trying to pay their bills, for better or for worse. Trucker strike's not happening. Just not. It's insanity to even talk about it. And just like that, the lack of solidarity you have in the trucker industry is the same thing in the military. I think a lot of people, if there was to be a pandemic, if there was to be some insurrectionary event, or you had a major recession or something like that happen, if you do this and you get dishonorable discharge, which is very possible, what will happen next? You know, join a backyard militia somewhere? Oh, that's awesome. So you gave up your GI Bill, you gave up your VA benefits, you gave up all that to be a backyard militia wannabe. These guys aren't doing that, man. I don't believe a lot of folks in the military might be sympathetic. They might be sympathetic, but you know what? They'll do their jobs. I don't believe in a gun confiscation. I think that goes back to what I talk to you guys often about, the white man's fear. Like, I was reading, one guy was talking about, like what would cause it? Well, they come up with some law to ban all homophobia. And it's like all this homophobia in the South that we see on a constant basis, and you're worried about a ban of it. Like, we have gay people and transgender being murdered out here. This is happening. It's been like 4 or 5 men in Texas alone in the last year. And you're worried about somebody banning homophobia and its bodies in the streets. That's the mindset of the white man. That's the mindset of the Caucasian. I don't care what happens. I don't care who gets hurt. You cannot infringe upon any part of my life. I don't care. I don't care if there's bodies in the street. I'm a Caucasian. This is my system. I don't care. That's something I had to learn about white people. I learned about them, rednecks, that they don't care. They don't have no qualms. They don't care. They might care about somebody in their inner circle. They don't care. Not at all. Not at all. They don't care. They have no feeling whatsoever. None. But I don't believe that. I don't believe it. And then also, even if folks started doing that, you're gonna have people that are gonna start talking. You know what I mean? Just like Denmark Vesey. You might have folks that say, yeah, let's tear it down. You gotta have folks that talk. Like this thing with the base that happened in Virginia, them talking about, oh, there was no violence at this gun rally. Yeah, the FBI arrested a bunch of folks that were planning on it. They were going to have explosions going off in the background to make folks think shots were being fired at them. They didn't tell you that part, did they? They had a guy, they were going to kill one of their own people. The FBI stopped that. That's why I say to you guys, in the last couple of years since Trump been in office, I've really got a budding respect for law enforcement. It may not seem like it, but it's there. Not because I respect any one officer, because I don't, or one department, because I don't. It's just the realization that we are facing straight up white supremacy. And not white supremacy like mandatory minimums and racist laws. We are all facing bona fide violence. And it's hiding right beyond the shade. It's not far away. It is real and it is tangible. And I don't care how pro-Trump of an officer is, because if he shows up and starts shooting, he may be the first one to get shot. That could totally happen. You could be pro-Trump, and you could even, like I just said, yeah, man, we should take arms against the government. He's in that police car one day, and somebody come up there and start shooting, he might catch a cap in the head. That guy's not going to say, hey, are you a Trump supporter? No, he's going to start shooting. And you in that police car with the accoutrements and the badge. That's all he sees. And now you're dead. The guy doesn't care if you're black or white. You know, that's a real thing. And so, because of that, I guess I respect law enforcement because of what it represents, what it's supposed to represent in a way. You know. Anyway, peace out.